It's a good feeling when you know that you did something that nobody believes. That's the most important thing.
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola, Lakers su bili šampioni pre samo...
Born February 19th, 1995. Nikola Jokic just won his third MVP trophy in 2024, joining only 8 players in NBA history that have 3 or more. That line alone, said about any player, can mean that player must be one of the all-time greats and must have a great story of success where they had some DNA or pedigree in them at a young age and dominated at all levels throughout their lives, continuing to have success into the NBA. Except for Jokic, he wasn't exactly a child prodigy or expected to even play basketball as a young child, growing up a harness racing lover, a sport he competed in intensely as an amateur, and passion he still enjoys today, maybe even more than winning championships. Not to mention, he somehow fell not to just the second round of the NBA draft, but late second round, being the 41st overall pick. Late spots usually reserved for stash over foreign prospects, which Jokic himself was, or guys that will likely never see an NBA floor. For him to grow from there to where he is today, where he's literally turned himself into one of the most dominant players to ever play the game and arguably the best player in the league currently at 29 years old, to me makes his story #1 when it comes to unexpected growth spurt. He's played 8 seasons in the league and is a 6-time All-Star, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds for his career, joining a short list to have done that as well, winning back-to-back MVPs in 21 and 22, and of course a third in 24. The Nuggets are fighting their way through the 24 playoffs right now, where he looks to make it back-to-back championships as well. Barring the Nuggets keep this team intact, continuing to build on it, finding new talent as guys like Aaron Gordon age and lose that athleticism that makes him so unique for the Nuggets, as well as important role players like a solid backup guard in the role of Reggie Jackson and reliable deep shooter Caldwell Pope, their 5th and 6th leading scorers. What many like about Nikola Jokic is he achieves all this while being the most low-key superstar ever, only rivaling the great Tim Duncan. It's a gift and a curse humility that, while it plays well into his humble superstar image and increases his likability, some have criticized him for not showing enough love for the game that's provided him with all he has and not being your traditional role model and passion shown for the sport, always seeming to want to get away from the game any chance he gets.
Minute parade, I need to go home. It's not everything on the wall, I think.
Either way, it's made him extremely unique and inspirational to young hoopers who aren't naturally gifted athletically, aren't from where basketball is life, who aren't catered to and handed any of his achievements. For these reasons more than others, I believe Nikola Jokic hit his insane growth spurt. What happened? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Nikola Jokic is a 6'11" Serbian-born center that enjoyed horses growing up, slowly developing his love for basketball, competing against his 2 older brothers, and encouraged by his father, who saw his son had a talent for basketball early on. Always a big kid, he wasn't your typical young prospect, as he struggled with his weight and being athletic enough to stand out until his height began to set in, which opened up his game in the post that complemented his developed outside shot that he used a lot, not being able to blow by defenders. After averaging 20 points and 20 rebounds, he caught the attention of Mega Vizura and the Adriatic League, who signed him without even seeing him play based on his production. He joined their junior team and won MVP of the Youth League before moving up to the Serbian League, where he struggled due to his poor conditioning, something that changed his life once he figured it out. Growth spurt #1, correcting his weaknesses. Immediately from his appearance, you can guess Nikola Jokic isn't the most traditionally gifted with athleticism and could struggle with his body not being in the best shape to have success. Something that hindered him his first year in the Serbian League, averaging just 1 point and 2 rebounds in 10 minutes. Thanks to his mega team, he changed not only his conditioning regimen, but his diet as well, and began to see his stamina improve that allowed him the energy to work more on developing his body through being able to work out more, longer, and more aggressively. The next season, 2013-14, he saw more minutes and his averages shot to 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists in the Adriatic League, and 10, 6, and 3 in 13 Serbian League games. He was entered into the 2014 NBA draft as a shot in the dark, sleeping through his 41st selection due to the time difference, while a Taco Bell commercial played during the announcement. Jokic fell to the 41st pick by the Denver Nuggets because many scouts couldn't see a player who's tall but not dominant height compared to NBA centers, didn't have traditional physique that said he would be strong enough in the NBA, and slow-footed who may also struggle with his conditioning. Not to mention being a European player who many stereotype as players that won't be able to strive against the more athletic American NBA players. Jokic stayed in Europe for the 2014-15 season and dominated individually, winning multiple MVP awards, including the regular season MVP in the Adriatic League, before joining the Nuggets for the 2015-16 season. He realized he had to take his conditioning to another level playing in America, and every off-season early on he bettered his diet and focused on strength training and conditioning, turning his weaknesses into his strengths by his second year. His strength coach saying he may look weak and slow, but has some of the strongest legs and hips in the league, allowing him to outlast NBA centers and barrel his way past them at will. Mixed with his footwork, it's made him unstoppable. Growth spurt number 2, Denver giving him space. One huge development that often goes unnoticed is the space the Nuggets gave him by making an early decision on the future of their 2 2014 draft-selected big men, demoting Jusuf Nurkic to a bench role and starting Nikola early 2016-17. Nurkic, of course, wasn't happy with the decision and requested a trade twice in April and December, a few months into 2016-17. Denver wound up trading Jusuf Nurkic February 2017, the 16th overall pick in the first round, same draft as Nikola, to the Blazers, placing their faith publicly in Jokic, whose confidence grew over the season, with him improving from 10 points per game as a rookie to over 16 a game and almost 10 rebounds per, finishing second in most improved player voting. Now only standing in his way as far as roster construction was Danilo Gallinari, a once prodigy 7 years older than Jokic, in the role of leading scorer for the first few years of Jokic's career. In July 2017, the team traded Gallinari to the Clippers in a 3-team trade that brought back an Atlanta second-round pick. They were officially ready to build around Nikola Jokic, and it proved to be the best decision the team ever made. Often, Nikola's teammates agree with reports that Jokic does love his free time and flying home immediately after the season, but all say that when he's back for the season, he's the most locked in of anyone. He shows up early and stays late, weight trains after every practice and game, and sticks to his diet that's been a key contributor for his success. This was also what the Nuggets saw and did whatever to ring in a new era all behind Nikola. 2017-18, he led the team in scoring and shot 39% from 3. The next season, his first 20-10 average and first All-Star selection, winning 54 games, making the conference semifinals. Jokic's career blossomed from there, but it was Denver giving him the space he needed early on that helped him a lot. Growth spurt number 3, his attitude toward basketball. One thing I admire the most about Nikola Jokic is how in times he was counted out and times where he had success, he managed to stay the same when it came to basketball. He never lets one moment, one late pick, one MVP, even one championship change who he is and how he approaches the game as just a game and tool he enjoys and uses to make his quality of life better. Some translate it to he doesn't always care about basketball, while from his perspective, basketball is meant to be played for enjoyment and a chance to interact with friends through competition. This childlike approach to the game gives him the freedom to be himself on the court, trying new things out there that most players wouldn't. He's never lost that love for the game in its most natural state of being just a game. This is why he never seems the stage is too big or the lights too bright. He's just out there having fun. It's a huge reason he's now known to make crazy shots and complete crazy passes because he isn't afraid to try these things when other players are conditioned or pressured into panicking in those situations. Since 2019, Jokic has been an all-star every year, winning his first regular season MVP in 2021 and the year after. In 23, he brought the Nuggets their first and only title thus far, winning the Finals MVP as well, and in 24 won his third regular season MVP with a chance to win back-to-back championships. Yet and still, his attitude seems to still understand basketball isn't life and doesn't have to be to have success. It's a part of his life, and prioritizing correctly is what's made him successful. All in all, Nikola Jokic is a great role model for kids to see you don't have to be traditionally what a basketball player is supposed to look and act like, but with hard work, improving your weaknesses, and a bit of deserved luck because you've worked so hard, you can be whatever you want. It's given him the chance to still, in his prime, possibly go down as a top 5 to 10 player ever, and who knows, maybe even more than that. Salute, much respect. For these reasons, Jokic hit his insane growth spurt. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.